you? Are you wasting your time on social media again? Your brothers and sisters in Islam Net from Norway are establishing a masjid, a dawah center. Establishing a masjid to convey the message of Islam is one of the best deeds a Muslim can do. There's a huge need for it in Norway. You know this and I know this. So that makes the reward even greater. So give generously and Allah Azza wa Jal will give you even more. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. How are you guys doing? I've come here from the United Kingdom. Started in Norway. We've been doing a dawah expedition, really. Going to different places in the Scandinavian region. To be honest with you, I forget what the name of this city is. What's this place? Karlstad? It's called something like that. But it's, mashallah, I was very surprised to even find the Muslim population here. I thought there would be no Muslims. I was searching whether there's Muslims here or no Muslims here. But I'm very glad to see that there's a, mashallah, thriving Muslim population. And I guess what I want to say is that there's a few things I want to say. That we've been coming and doing a bit of research ourselves here. Okay, the research is about purposefulness. People have, in this country, become the most atheistic, one of the most atheistic countries, irreligious countries on the face of the planet. And we went around in different parts of Norway and Sweden asking people really what the purpose of their lives were. And connecting the idea of purpose and meaning of one's life with suicide. The idea that, because many of you will know, Sweden is one of the countries that people kill themselves, they end up the most, actually, pound for pound. And so we wanted to see if there was a connection. Most people themselves believed that there was a connection. Most people, atheists that we spoke to, and people that didn't have a religion, they saw a connection between having no meaning in life, having no purpose in life, and this idea of hopelessness, or this idea of being depressed to the point where one would commit suicide. So this is what we found. And then we would propose to them, so therefore what would make your life better? Then having purpose would make your life better. Obviously, us as Muslims, the biggest blessing of all is Islam. And not least because it gives us purpose, it gives us a reason to live. Now, I wanted to give you one argument that I have been thinking about and talking about with some of my friends about how to prove that life has purpose from a rational perspective. Because of course, if I asked you why do you know that you have purpose? So, for example, let me ask you, what's your name in the front here? Salman. Jamal, where are you from? What country? MashaAllah, may Allah, give victory to the people of Palestine. So if I were to ask you, what's your purpose of life? What would you say? Okay, what's your meaning in life? What do you want to do here in life? Yeah, okay, good. Okay, so you would say, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونِ. We have not created the jinn and the human being except that they may worship me. Okay, but if you go to an atheist and you say to him, in the Quran it says, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ. He said, I don't care what the Quran says. I don't believe in Quran. That's what they say. So my question is, how do we bring to an atheist, okay, or someone who doesn't believe in God, this idea that, how can we prove? So I'm giving you an argument here. The argument is as follows. Number one, the universe which we live in has design. Okay? What do we mean by that? The universe is finely tuned to allow life to exist. No one can deny this. No atheist can deny this. Because why? We have life in the universe. We have human life. We have animal life. We have different kinds of life. Yes? We have animals in this universe, right? We have humans, yeah? Nobody can say there's no life. No, there is life, yes? Even the atheist must admit. Life and death are two things no atheist can deny, right? So number one is, there's life in the universe. The universe which we live in, the earth on which we live in the universe which we live in, is finely tuned to allow life to exist. If it couldn't have been that you have a universe which has no life, for example, right? It could have been a universe which was volatile, which allowed no life, but it just so happened that we have a universe that allowed what? That allowed life. So now we ask, what does this show? What does this show us? It shows us a few things, actually. Number one, it shows us that something proportioned the universe. Now I'll explain what I mean by this. If I ask an atheist, what's your explanation? What is your explanation for why the universe is finely tuned to allow life to exist? What can he say? There's only three options. There's no fourth option. Number one option, it is random thing. It just happened like that. Ashwa'i, it happened like that, no problem. It's a random thing, yani, it's no problem. Okay, the second option is they can say it was meant to be like that by force, necessity. And the third option is to say, actually, there was a designer, there's a lawmaker that made it like that, which has intelligence, which has knowledge. So you have three options. But in truth, you only have one option. You don't have three options. Let me tell you why. Because if you say, well, this randomness, it made the universe, I say to you, what is the proof that there's something called randomness? Because you are an atheist, for example, I would say, you're an atheist, so you believe that in order to believe in something, you have to put it under a microscope. Randomness is not something you can put under a microscope. Randomness doesn't exist. There's no such thing as randomness. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as called randomness. So that's number one, option is gone. He has to prove to you there's something called randomness, chance. It happened by chance, by luck. No, it didn't. You have to prove to me there's somebody called luck, or chance, or randomness, which I can investigate. There's no randomness, khalas. That's the first option gone. It happened by force. But how did it happen by force? It's not an explanation at all. So you're left with the only explanation, which is that you have a knowledge, something or someone with knowledge made the universe, proportioned it, and made it such a way, stable, uniform, and regular, so that the universe can have life. There's no other option. There is no other option. Khalas. So something or someone made the universe with knowledge. Ilm. This is min sifat Allah ta'ala. That he is al-alim. Okay, that he is the knowledgeable one. Already we've established to the atheist that he is alim. From one looking at the universe only. We only look at the universe, we established one of the names of Allah. But he couldn't have changed, the universe couldn't have changed from one thing to another, except if it changed from someone who was able to change something. So this is quwwah and qudra. So we're already, how could the universe even move from one thing to another? You cannot move unless you have power and strength. Khalas, so we established for the atheist quwwah and qudra. So what do we have? We have ilm, we have quwwah, and we have qudra. The Quran also states, and it's a beautiful argument. Question? I will do both. I will do English first, and then I will do Arabic after. Okay? Just so everybody can understand. So, do you understand? You have ilm, quwwah, and qudra. You have these. Okay. So why cannot be more than one of them? Because if there was more than one of them, there would be more than one decision maker. And if there's more than one decision maker, you would not have uniformity. Because that's what the Quran says. It says that if there was لو كان فيهما آلهة غير الله لفسدتا. If it was other than Allah, the universe and the heavens and the earth would have been destroyed. You see, it would have been destroyed. Why? Because there'd be more than one decision maker. And if the universe had more than one decision maker, it could not be uniform. The laws cannot be one laws. There's only one laws for the universe. It's called uniformity. The evidence of one God is that there is one laws. That's the evidence. The Quran tell you that. طيب. So we already have ilm, qudra, quwwah, and wahdaniyah, the oneness of God. Wa ahadiyah as well, which is the one he one and only. طيب. But there's something else, and this I'm going to connect it to purpose now. The universe has things in the right place. For what purpose? For the purpose of allowing human life. Yani, if things were a different place, the universe could not allow human life. If they were in the wrong place for that purpose, the universe would not allow human life. For example, I'm drinking a cup of water now, yes? Any excuse? It's the water from the tap is fantastic here in Sweden. Not as good as in Norway. But that's a different question. I think I just tried it now. This is like, it's okay. Not like Norway one is a bit better. This water, this cup of water, it is not blowing up in my face now. I'm not changing into a dragon in your face. I'm not changing. Things are staying the same. Why? Because there are laws of nature. And that's one laws of nature, staying the same. Okay. Now this shows you that the things are in the right place to disallow disorder in order for life to continue to exist. And this is called hikmah. Because al-hikmah is wisdom. And in Arabic, the wisdom of Allah is wad'u shay' fi makanihi sahih. To put something in its right place. To put something in its right place. What's the evidence of Allah's wisdom? The sifah of hikmah. The evidence is that everything is in its right place to allow human life. Isn't that evidence? It's evidence. But then if we have a deity or an entity which is all-knowing, all-seeing, let's say, but let's not say seeing because we haven't established that yet. All-knowing, all-powerful, that has qudra and has quwwah and has hikmah, then the question is it conceivable? Can you imagine that such a deity would create the universe and not allow a purpose, not assign a purpose for the human being? This cup, what is the purpose of this cup? The purpose of the cup is that you can put water or juice or fluids inside so that somebody like me can have his excuse. To drink the water. So the cup has a purpose. So the cup has a purpose because human being has assigned a purpose to it. If we have established that human beings come from this higher source, then min bab awla we would say, human being must have a purpose. Human being must have a purpose. So the question is, what is the purpose of life? And that's why when Allah He answers this question, He answers it in questions. He asks us questions. For example, أَيَحْسَبُ الْإِنسَانِ أَن يُتْرَكَ سُدًى. This is a question of Surah Al-Qiyamah. Does the human being think he will be left alone without purpose? Is this imaginable thought? That human being can be left without purpose. The cup has the purpose. That I have assigned the purpose for the cup. Human being has assigned the purpose for the cup. Has shaped the cup so that it has a purpose. But Allah has not shaped me so I can have a purpose. The one who has wisdom and ilm and quwwah and qudra has not shaped the universe and shaped the human being so that he has a purpose. يحسب الإنسان أن يترك سدى ألم يكن نطفة من مني يمنى ثم كان علقة فخلق فسوى. Was he not something which was like sperms emitted, and then he made him into a clot and he formed him? And Allah is showing us the khalq. He created the human being. And this is the Quranic argument. If God can assign purpose through creation, then you can establish purpose for yourself. أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقَنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. Another question Allah asks. Do you think you have been created purpose, without any purpose, and that you will not come back to us? So Allah, the way He deals with this issue, He doesn't tell you the answer. He asks you the questions. Which is why I went to the streets today, and I didn't give anybody the answer. I gave them only the question, because that's what Allah does with us in the Quran. أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقَنَاكُمْ عَبَثًا وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. It's a question, it's not an answer. Because sometimes asking a question is better than giving an answer. Does this make sense? So we're living in the country with the least amount of purpose. It's important that we understand our own purpose and that we give that purpose to other people. This is what I wanted to tell you today. I'll quickly do a translation in Arabic. Yes, sir.
First, I would like to thank you for all the effort.
Thank you.
I watched a lot of your videos and
Alhamdulillah. Thank you.
I only have one issue that I'm always asking myself, and I even wanted to email you about it, but
Allah, mashallah. Go on.
So basically, sometimes the original purpose is to guide people, right? But sometimes I feel that your answer is more of it's not the purpose behind it is not to guide them, as if you just give up on that person and you are now just making him shut up.
Yeah.
Why does it go that way?
Sometimes you have to deal with different people in different ways. لكل مقام مقال, as the Arabs say. Yeah. If someone is, you have to be a kind of psychoanalyst of some sorts. So you analyze the behavior of a person. If somebody is coming to do hujum on you, to attack you, to ridicule from the religion of Islam, at that point, my gharad, if you like, my aim is not to guide him or to tell him about Islam. It's to humiliate him. No, I'll be honest with you. Why? Because now he's doing it. He's attacking Islam. He's attacking the Muslim people. Let me give you one thing Ibn Taymiyyah said. Ibn Taymiyyah, a famous scholar of the 13th century. He said, and this might be an exaggeration, but I'll tell you, he said, it is worse that one person says something bad about the Prophet than 1,000 people become Muslim. Does this make sense? If 1,000 people become Muslim, but one kafir, he says something bad about Islam, we would rather have 1,000 people not become Muslim and this woman shut his mouth. That's how much the honor of the Prophet is to the scholars and to the Sahaba and to these kinds of people. You see? And there's many hadiths I can bring with the Sahaba and how they react, so I won't do it now because some children here and some stuff, yeah? Maybe you know them. Maybe you know them. But the idea is that there's a point where you are doing da'wah. A da'iyah must know when to give da'wah and when to attack the person and when to befriend the person and when to be nice and when to be good. Sometimes I get this wrong myself. I get it wrong all the time. Sometimes I'm harsh with the good guy, I'm good with the harsh guy, and everyone has this problem, but this is something I'm working. But this is the idea. The idea is that if I see that the person, his objective is to attack Islam, I don't want to do da'wah to him now. I want to antaqisu min sha'nihi. I want to humiliate him. And I'll be honest with you.
But then comes the question, why publish and how do you?
So humiliate him in front of more people. yeah. To humiliate him in front of so many people.
More likes, more views.
Yeah, more views.
Someone should watch that video and only that video and then have a negative opinion about it.
Yeah.
Should watch like many videos, then you see that the purpose is totally different.
I agree, but let me tell you something, yeah? If somebody, sorry to say, he swore at your mum, he said bad thing about your mum, and you heard him say bad thing about your mum, this, that. Now this guy, he comes in the street in front of everyone. It's your turn to humiliate him. You humiliate him now, yeah? طيب, now you humiliate him, it's on camera, everyone can see, right? He said something bad about your mom. He said some, sorry to say, very bad things, sexual things, some whatever, yeah? So you humiliate him in front of millions of people to teach him a lesson and to teach people like him a lesson, yeah? طيب, if someone just see that video of you attacking him, will you care? Will you care? No, you say it's my mom, I don't care. If everybody they see and they say I'm a bad guy, I don't care, The same thing is like Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is more than 1,000 mothers. It's 4 million mothers, all of our mothers together. That's the truth. So for me, I'll be honest with you. Yes, I understand some people criticize the idea of me attacking somebody. But the moment I see that they do Sabb bin Nabi or they do attack of Islam or they want to remove the Muslims or something like that, my aim really isn't necessarily to only give them dawah. I can give them dawah privately. A lot of these enemies of Islam, I give them dawah privately. But publicly, it's humiliation. That's my strategy with them. And it works. They respect me. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ told us that whoever builds a mosque for Allah, Allah will build for him a similar house in Jannah. And we know the great reward that will not only be gained, but rather will fill your grave after your death. Whenever someone prays there, whenever someone gives shahada, In the masjid, whenever someone learns something in the masjid, yes, that will be something that you'll have on your scale.